Um, it's important to evaluate your work when doing something like this, because you can look back and you can sort of pick out what's good and what's bad. You can look at constructive criticism that you've gathered throughout the process and use it to make something better in the future. Like for us, we've done the rough cut. We've got sort of comments, criticisms back on it. We can see what we did good, and what we did bad, so that when we come to make something else and even finish it off, we can take this criticism and put it into making it better using different filming, using different camera work, different editing, different lighting, sound, what have you. Well, we actually can't do sound because it's a song. We picked YouTube to sort of host our rough cut, not only because it's a professional streaming service. It'll allow people to see it clearly, with ease. But what I think is good about it is you've got the comment system, likes and the view number and dislikes. So it's quite a good way to look at the sort of reviews, I guess, if you would, on the rough cut. Like, you can look at the comments and see what people liked about it, so that we know, we can keep using that because people like it, or we could maybe adapt it a bit so they like it and it's still fresh. You can see what's negative about it. So if someone completely didn't like something and they've given us constructive criticism, it's right there and we can sort of adapt it on. This is where we've gathered using YouTube is where we've gathered our criticism from. YouTube, hosting on YouTube meant that people could easily just comment on video itself, and there is no limit to what people can write. There's no sort of pressure on them to say anything good. There's no pressure to say anything bad. They could be honest, so that when criticisms were offered, they were done as to the sort of reviewer's past extent. Also, the like and dislike gave us an idea. The numbered likes and numbered dislikes also gave us sort of an idea of what ratio of people liked it, what sort of the fanfare or reaction to the video was. I have collected some comments that the video reviewed, the reviewed video received in the end. One of them we got is quality is good, and I like different locations you filmed at, but it would have been better if some shots were brighter. So as a media producer, this kind of criticism is good, because there's good and there's bad, and we can use both parts of this review, this comment, in making something better. For example, I see the quality is good now, and I like the different locations. What the comment said. I know that sort of the camera quality is good. I don't need to update that. And the locations, they're diverse. There's a large sort of amount and diverse range of them. So I know that if we're refilming, I don't need any more different locations. But she also says it would be better if some shots were brighter. So maybe the filters, the editing filters, maybe they're too grey. They're not really conveying a sort of, not light hide, but they're a bit too dull. They're sort of boring the audience. So we can go back and we can take another look at the filters we put over it, brightening them, maybe even going back to reshoot something because there was enough sunlight or the interior lighting wasn't strong enough to brighten something up properly. On to the next comment. That I should mention that comment is very valuable to us as media producers, because when we're making something, we can just adapt that into correcting anything and making it better. The next comment says, it could have been better if the filter changed towards the end. So just off the bat, we know that the filter's alright, but it's not great. Moves on to say, at the end, when she decides to burn the photo, it could have changed to be more colourful, brighter. This would have portrayed the narrative more visually. As a media producer, this comment is really in depth. It's really good. Like, if we had all of these comments at this depth, all of the comments, the sort of corrections we could make would be phenomenal. They'd be really detailed. We'd be able to really properly sort of push these ideas onto our work, knowing exactly what the audience wanted to see. Specifically, she writes, it could have been better if the filter changed towards the end, which means that maybe the long sort of greyed out filters got a bit boring to her, that we could go on and maybe change it, maybe go for like a stylistic brightness to sort of, not satire, like it's ironic, it's sad, but it looks happy. And it says, and when at the end when she starts to burn the photo, it could have changed to be more colourful or brighter. This also leads for everyone to what I just off of what I just said. The filter changing towards the end. If we did have some more colourful parts, in the beginning it could be a bit odd to the viewer if it's sort of a negative theme, but it's bright. That could be confusing. They may not understand. But if we do it when she decides to burn the photos, it could change to be more colourful, brighter. The audience could see it as her maybe finally getting over her problems and sorting her life out, which is cool. Another comment. This next one says, I like the transitions from one scene to the other, but I think you could have had more scenes of the artist playing her instrument. This one's good because straight off the bat we know that the transitions are good. We don't need to change them. The stuff like fades, the editing that we're doing, we can continue doing it how we are, knowing that we're satisfied the audience. We could go further, and that could make the audience even sort of more satisfied with the project. That's how that comment makes me feel like sort of good, knowing that I've satisfied the audience to the point where they don't. They have criticism, but they can pick out what they liked about it. The constructive part, but I think that you could have had more scenes of the artist playing her instrument. This is a key convention to the indie genre that we could have had more of, was the artist playing her instrument. Because right now it comes off more narrative based, when really we want to go for like a narrative performance split, maybe not so much the concept. So yeah, that comment sort of tells us that we need more performance in it. So when we go back to it, we can have more shots of her playing outside a train station for money. As it develops her character, it tells us more about sort of who she is as a character, like needing to sort of play for money. But it also tells the audience more about the artist, that she loves her music, she's playing the guitar and stuff, and stuff. That's the last of the comments. This feedback, if we were to actually be working in the music industry, this feedback's really good because it gives us a better idea of what we're doing wrong and what we're doing right in making a music video. So when we, if we were to make another music video, we could come back to this knowing that if we want to get a really good feedback and a better understanding of what we did, good and bad, we'd post it on YouTube, or something that sort of maybe we get like a focus group in, because this obviously was a successful way in getting feedback. It also differs from a questionnaire and a vox pop, because a questionnaire is just something in the planning phase. It's not as sort of expansive that we'd like. Unlike the YouTube comment where you can go on forever, the questionnaire is pretty sort of bland, I'd say, as well. Sorry. Yeah, apart from the questionnaire, the Vox Pop as well, I don't think it's as good as the YouTube question, because the YouTube comment has sort of anonymity to it. Like, there's more you can say, as well as not having to, because Vox Pop, you're getting filmed face to face. With a YouTube comment, you can just sort of say what you want without feeling pressured into sort of saying something good because the person who made it stand in front of you. Yeah, and this feedback is very good that we're able to gather off YouTube, so that next time if we were to do it, we know where to go. We know where the most valuable feedback is in terms of what our target audience want to see and like how they want to see it.